Right then, this is a quick walk around video for an absolutely stunning car. Lexus IS300 Hybrid F Sport model, finished in black, 50,000 miles just covered now. Looks absolutely stunning, especially so in the flesh. I mean, it really is one of these modern cars, and from the manufacturer, it's got it absolutely right. Front end looks superb and is in lovely condition. Lights, lenses are clear and intact. Only the lightest chipping on the bumper, which you'd clearly expect with a high performance car. Bonnet is in wonderful condition. Come down the near side, passenger side first. Very clean in the panels. Not to say there aren't any marks, because of course there will be, but looks like the wheels have been recently refurbished because they are absolutely beautiful. And panel work, as I said, really lovely on the car. I do the videos in the shade, by the way, on sunny days, not to hide anything. It's absolutely the opposite, in all honesty. It's because in the direct sunlight you don't get to see the blemishes. Come around the back of the car, again, really clean. Just a few minor marks on the rear bumper, and I'm talking very minor indeed on the vehicle. Coming to the off side of the vehicle, again, wonderfully smooth in the panels. Just got a real gleam to it. Offside rear alloy, absolutely beautiful. And panels all very nice indeed. And then final wheel, as with the others, as I said, they do look very recently done because they can't be that good surely. But that is a sensational looking car. It's coming into the back of the car now. As you'd expect, a huge boot and beautifully finished. And this is Lexus's way. Coming to the back now. Wonderful interior, loads more legroom than the previous generation IS. Half leather interior, which I think is the nicer option on these, just because it's more supportive for no other reason. It's been kept very well indeed. Coming to the front on the passenger side, again, door card all very clean. Electric adjustment, of course, on the passenger seat, and passenger seat not been given a lot of use, in all honesty. So finally coming on the driver's side, again, all very clean and tidy. Driver's seat, the only one which has got obviously a bit of wear. As you slide in and out, you can actually get a tiny bit on the bolster there. Given the age of the car, it's in very nice condition. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section, so the dash can be seen illuminated. Wonderful interior. Sorry, slight shaky hand today. I'll hold it slightly more firmly there. There we go. Sat nav, as you can see, working absolutely perfectly. And pop the car into reverse. That lovely clear gridded parking camera, all working exactly as it should. But it's in very nice condition, as I said. But what a wonderful interior. Up to the main dash binnacle. No warning lights aside from the low fuel light currently on the vehicle. And this wonderful dash design. And this, press that button there. I mean, I hate to say it because it's so nerdy, but that's so satisfying. It really is a gorgeous interior. Sorry, come back up to there. Sorry, 50,158 miles. As I said, there's no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Lexus IS300 Hybrid, and it's the F Sports model. This particular car is registered GX14FWW, and mileage is now 50,123 miles. The reason we do all our videos is basically so that anyone's looking online at our cars, they get to see the cars we're advertising actually in operation. The reason we feel it's important is very simple. We just want to make sure that people don't suffer the same as we have, where you go and see a car which looks perfectly good, only to get there and find out it's got a fundamental problem when you test drive the car. So that's why we do it. And we also do it on these lovely quiet country roads very close to our premises. And this forms actually part of the road test route we take customers on. The reason for that is hopefully then it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, absolutely wonderful cars. They really are. Just go through the cars, I always do. Press the power button to start it up. It generally starts silently in battery mode, so you don't hear anything. Worth pointing out, you probably already know this, but these are what Lexus refer to as self-charging hybrid cars. basically you just drive them like a petrol car. There is no plugging in, you can't run out of battery, you can only run out of fuel. You just drive it and own it exactly as you would do an ordinary car. But the kind of differences end because what an amazing powertrain it is. It's just simply astonishing. What's striking to most people when they get into these cars is just how smooth everything about them is. The moment you engage the gear, press the throttle, there's none of that kind of clunkiness that you get with conventional cars. So you get this sort of silent waft as you pull away, the engine kicks in seamlessly, you don't feel the transitions, or hardly at all. And the car kind of does it all for you. You know, you can help it. You've got 3 modes. Currently I'm in normal mode. If I twist to the left, I'm now in eco mode, so the throttle response is definitely sort of duller. Press it down, back into normal mode, and then twist it to the right, and I'm in sport mode, and then you immediately feel the throttle response is completely different. It's the mode of choice on the open road, in all honesty. Normal I tend to drive in most of the time, but when I'm on the open road, zinging along, it's a fantastic mode, it really is. There are no warning lights on the car, by the way, relating to the engine or any other part of the car, and temperature gauge is just over 1/3, which is exactly where it's meant to be, and it's a blisteringly hot day. But it's an amazing experience actually to drive the car, because most people, when they've driven these, then get back into their older cars, it just makes them feel say clumsy is probably the best explanation, or agricultural slightly, because they just feel, there's no gear change as such because it's CVT. So you just, you're going along now, if you want to accelerate, put your foot down, engine picks up, but you kind of catch up with it. It's just astonishing because there's no steps at all. And quite often with an automatic, when you're coming down, slowing down, they can get indecisive at certain speeds, and you get none of that with these. Absolutely brilliant. Steering on the car, because it's rear wheel drive, is fantastic. Tracks dead straight without any vibrations, but it's unpolluted by drive shafts, so it gives you a wonderful steering system on the car. Very accurate and direct, beautifully weighted, just perfect, absolutely beautiful. Ride and handling, again, simply brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Again, the balance with rear wheel drive helps. But what it gives you is it's a very athletic car, and almost an un-Lexus-like way. It's got a real verve to its change of direction. Its body control's fantastic. You absolutely sort of, if you're really in the mood, it rewards. It's a very, very, very accomplished car. But what it hasn't got, unlike so many of its competitors which have sporting pretensions, is a hard edge to it. It's incredibly comfortable. It is one of the most comfortable cars I've driven, because its comfort's very much a subjective thing, but I just think one that kind of holds you in the corners, isn't lolloping about, but rides as I am now just serenely, absolutely beautifully. There's also no nasty noises emanating from underneath the vehicle that shouldn't be there. Brakes are just instant, solid, no pulsing, no vibrations, absolutely spot on. The whole car feels as tight as a drum. And likewise inside, there's absolutely, he says that as my keys rattle on the phone, there are no sort of interior rattles or buzzers. They are beautifully put together cars, absolutely beautifully put together, and just a lovely place to sit and operate as well. And it's a fantastic dash design, all working perfectly. So your sat nav and rear camera, air conditioning with dual zones, so you can have different temperatures side to side, and that's pumping out absolutely ice cold air. And it's already 27 degrees today, so it's a hot day. But you do feel special in these cars. It's it's definitely not your normal car inside. The quality of the switch gear, everything you press has that wonderful quality of actuation that Lexus do superbly well. Dash in front with the binnacle, minimalist. I love this because you don't have tons of information being thrown at you. You've got a wonderful rev counter in the middle, flanked by the temperature and fuel gauges, and that's pretty much it. You can press this button, which, as I said, it gives you your information display on the left-hand side, which is hidden generally, which again, I really like that feature, so it's not distracting in any way. But it is, yeah, I can think of very, very, very few cars in this class that would, first of all, make you feel as special driving the car, but secondly, are as beautifully engineered. I mean, this is in a different league. It's so quiet in here as well. Wonderful car. As I said at the start, the point, of course, is to tell you of any issues there might be with the car, which is nothing at all. It drives absolutely beautifully.